What up, though? I'm your boy OG Tim Wilson. I'm here with the Nasty Boys, and we would like to welcome you to the show where we talk smack, the show where we talk shop, the show where we talk sports, the show where we talk football. It's the Showdown. Yeah, man, I almost hate that we ever took the theme song away, man. You see, once I watched the show last week and the theme song came in, I said, I'm bringing it back again. I'm bringing the theme song back one more again. So what's up, fellas? I'm your boy OG Tim Wilson. That is Big Ed. What up, Big Ed?
What up? What up?
And that's my homie Waze. What up, dope?
Was good.
That's good. That's good. And we are here after the first round of playoffs.
Oof.
Now, like I mentioned last week, I have had a rough season, and in most of these team leagues that we talk about here, we don't talk about our individual leagues, which I am doing better in many of those. But overall, the team leagues, which is most important, it's a struggle for me. I only made the playoffs in one of them. And unfortunately, I'm going to win that league, but we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, I only made the playoffs in one of them, and didn't go good.
That's an improvement for you.
Oh yeah, that's a big improvement. I got some of the free leagues that I'm in that I'm actually might chip in.
Okay, all right. We're gonna count some chips when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
But for now, we're gonna stay with the team leagues. And what we mean by team leagues, folks, there are teams of teams. So we are the Nasty Boys, and there's eight teams in the Nasty. Actually, there's a little more than that. But we run eight of our teams against 8 teams from another group of teams. So our 8 teams against their 8 teams. We play it regular going out, but we only play the other team until playoff time, and then that's when you can end up matching up with your own squad and knocking each other off, and it gets interesting in the playoffs because of that. That said, we've got the first league is EFG against EFG. It's called EFG Supremacy. So there's one group called Elite Fantasy Games. Then there's our crew that's called Extreme Fantasy Games. And EFG Extreme Fantasy Games, we are dominating. So we are going into the second round with 4 teams left into the final 4. Extreme has 3 of the final 4 in that playoff. So 3 of the final 4 in this league is Extreme, and only 1 team left from the Elite that's hanging on by a string. Let's see if they can pull it off, or if they're going to end up with, or will we end up with an all Extreme Fantasy Games final? Waze, you look like you are itching to talk about it.
Man, look. All right, that game came down to literally one play that I had this week with against Goon Squad, and it was, I think I had Zay Flowers, and I can't remember who they had, but that last Sunday night game was a nail biter for me because that game ended with me a 3-point lead for the win.
And the interesting thing, folks, is that Goon Squad is also on our squad. So that was a little extreme on extreme violence. Big Ed, you were in that playoff. How did you fare?
Yeah, I lost 129 to 106 to RMD boy.
Another extreme on extreme violence, because RMD boy is also on our squad. Let's see. Also, I would like to point out that in the consolation game, because I did not make the playoffs, because I saw that Ways you were in an extremely close game. But if you look, there's one game that was closer.
Talk about by the skin of your teeth.
Ew.
I'm gonna read that score off.
I got you. This, you want it?
Go for it.
All right. You won this one 140.62 to 140.24.
Man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dominance. Dominance. Total dominance. All right. Moving on to one that I find to be the most interesting of the matchups. The big dogs eat. Let the big dogs eat. That is the Nasty Boys versus BSB, also known as the Fuck Carltons, and the Broad Street Bullies against the Nasty Boys, and we are battling with them. They beat us last year. We vowed to get our revenge this year. We brought out the real Nasty Boys. Last year we had a makeshift crew, but we got the guys that we supposed to have this year. And right now, big dogs are eating. It's 2-2. We got two in the Final Four. They got two in the Final Four. Here's what's interesting. It is definitely going to be a Nasty Boys versus BSB final
Mhm.
because the Nasty Boys are pitted up against each other and BSB is pitted against each other in the quarterfinal round. But you know what the best part of this story is?
I just saw.
You know what the absolute best part of this story is?
I think I can guess, but go ahead.
Go for it, man. I want somebody else to have the glory.
190.58 to 149.86, and Carlton is out the playoffs
And who beat Carlton?
by OG.
I whooped your ass. He was talking that shit. I'm putting you out for well, we match. You better hope you don't match up with me.
Mhm.
I whooped your ass, Carlton. Me and you, 1-on-1. Whooped your ass, Carlton. That's the sweetest thing that could have happened in this entire tournament.
Oh man.
So yeah, I am on my way to Chip. I've got a tough game against one of my nasty boy compadres this week in the Big Dogs Eat, and I wish him the best, but at the same time, I want this one. I want this one for me
Yeah.
because I had to hear all the shit last year. In World War One, it's the Nasty Boys versus Death Row. So we took on one of the tougher opponents. We were dominating this league early, and they stormed back. And now in our Final Four, we only have one team left.
Yeah.
We have one team left, and they have three. Who's our one team left?
Is that blood on my hands?
Oh, that's my boy Durio. Durio's a tough competitor.
Yeah.
Uh, I hope he's competing because he's actually in Dubai. He just left for Dubai yesterday, so I hope he's able to set his line up because he is actually when it came down to putting the Nasty Boys together, he was actually the first person I wanted to go after. Um, very very tough competitor.
Yeah.
I have full faith that he can make it into the finals. All we got to do is get there,
Yeah.
and then 1-on-1 because they got to knock each other off somewhere. So if two of those got to knock each other off, all we need is him to get this one, and we'll be 1-on-1 in the finals. Go ahead, Waze.
Then me and Dorio went head to head this week, and that was the same game that as with the EFG battle. It came down to that last game Sunday night, and yeah, he got it out on me real good.
Yeah, Duriel stuff. And the leaders of the new school. That's Steppers Only against the Midwest Monsters. Steppers Only is Dejan's crew. That's my son, and Midwest Monsters is Chris's crew. That's Johnny the Mechanic's son. Me and Johnny the Mechanic being the oldest rivalry in this group of groups. And leaders of the new school right now in the Final Four, Steppers only have one team left. Steppers only has one team left. Another reason why I need to win in the big dogs. It's the only one that made the playoffs, by the way. So there's one team left in the new school. So the Midwest Monsters, Dejan don't want to lose that. Because they talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
The War Zone is Steppers Only versus BSB. I'm going to give Steppers Only a little bit of a pass because the bulk of them are new. All of them are new except Dejan. Even Dejan, actually, this is his first year doing team league. So, it's all new. It's all new to them. So it's a new thing to them. So they're just catching on to the fact that, it's a team sport, even though we're separate teams. We're actually the same team at the same time. Big Ed had to learn that last year. So in the War Zone, Steppers only has one team left in the playoffs. 1-3. It's a whole lot of 1-3s that they down. Steppers only down 1-3 in both of the leagues that they're in. And then the clash, last but not least, speaking of Dejan, Melvin put up a great fight. Melvin had a great game. He almost came back and won. If it wasn't for the fact that he started Tyreek Hill and Tyreek Hill didn't play, he probably would have stood. I think he would have won pretty easily. But instead, he was not able to pull off the comeback, and Will White took him out. And therefore, Dejan is the only team left from the collective versus SWG.
Tough road ahead too, man. It's gonna be fun. Watch.
1 out of 3. But again, he knocked off Acorn, by the way. He blew Acorn out too. He kicked Acorn's ass to get to the Final Four. So Acorn ain't in the finals. Nothing. I ain't seen Acorn make it. I think Acorn getting knocked out the first round everywhere. He talked a lot, but when it comes down to it, I don't see him chipping too much.
No.
So while I'm not having a great year, he had a good season, but he's not having a good playoff. Kind of like what Johnny the Mechanic did last year. Johnny the Mechanic last year had a good season, but he had a rough playoff. This year, Johnny the Mechanic is doing pretty good in the playoffs so far. But yeah, 1-3 is 4 teams left. Dejan is the only team left from the collective.
Okay.
So
Good luck, Dejan.
2 of them go and knock each other off. Dejan you got to beat is one of them, and you in the finals. All you got to beat is one of them. You ain't got to beat all 3. It can be done. Trust me. You can do this, and I got you. All you got to do is pay attention to the podcast. We're gonna tell you what to do. Matter of fact, we're gonna change the format. Let's just pick Dejan's team for him. Pull his roster up. No, I'm just playing. He ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna do it. Big Ed was already pulling this roster up.
Hey, I couldn't. I'm not in the clash.
Nope.
I was going to though.
You're like, good idea. Let's do it. You don't want to take too much advice from Mr.
Need an efficient quarterback for that. Need an efficient quarterback for that. Need an efficient quarterback for that.
You don't want to do too much. You don't want to take too much advice from Mr. Inefficient Quarterback, Big Ed. So, Waze, where do we go from here?
There is one collection of leagues we haven't talked about in a while. And I had made a promise earlier in the season that my whole purpose in this Chinese corruption was to be a disruption. And I did exactly as I said all season long. I went in there. I just knocked Chris out of the playoffs there.
Oh,
This week is coming down to you and I as well.
oh, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I am in trouble because yeah, it ain't gonna it ain't gonna be easy.
You got
And
pride in that one, man.
Acorn got knocked out by Dirty Jobs round one as well.
Acorn been having a rough playoff, man. I'm telling you, it's not it's interesting to watch, but you can't judge because that's it happens, man. He had a good season, but he's having a rough playoff, kind of like I said, like Johnny the Mechanic did last year. He had a good season, but he had a rough playoff.
But yeah, no, and I did it. I have right now. I'm standing at number 4 in that league. Obviously, you are dead. You're number 1 in the league. So
Oh, I'm tough in that league.
yeah, but yeah, I had to bring that up because I made that promise early in the season and I held to that bad boy.
I'm glad you beat Chris. That's good. That's enough. That's all we need. That's what we needed right there. I'm tough in that league. I'm tough in a few leagues. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not. I don't want people to think when I say I had a bad season that I'm just terrible all the way across all of my leagues. I'm just. We don't talk about all of the leagues that I'm in because I've been too many to talk about. For one, so it will bore you to tears, and for two, um, I'm in, but I'm not doing as good as I usually do. There's still I call leagues that are higher profile. There's some high profile leagues. I'm just not doing good. Like for instance, these team leagues, I'm only in one playoff. My money leagues, I'm only in one playoff. So I mean, but I am, I'm dynasty, of course. I mean, I pulled out a comeback win in dynasty. Ooh wee, that's my dynasty league. But I'm going to be focusing more on dynasty and team leagues in the future, money leagues. I'm not going to do as many leagues in the future. I'm just running out of time. This year, I'm not blaming it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not using it as an excuse because I did force myself to take the time to do it. But I just don't have as much time as I have had in the past, and it's been a little bit harder for me to manage all of my teams. So I gotta scale back, scale back, scale back.
Yeah, I'm not doing 14 next year.
You may as well do four teams. That's not something.
14.
That's not a lot either.
To me, it is.
Yeah.
I do quite a few, but I am going to limit myself next season. I want to focus on certain leagues and league formats, and I have an idea for a league format that I want to start trying to
See,
work on as well.
Waze keeps saying he's gonna scale back, but then he start another league. He that's the sign of a person that's getting addicted and he's not scaling back. Because as much as he wants people to join his new league, he gonna have to join their leagues in order to get them to join his. So he's gonna end up in 50 leagues. That's what's gonna happen.
It ain't gonna be like that.
Watch, watch,
I'm gonna
watch,
stick with some of the ones I got.
watch
But
what
I'm
I'm
gonna get
telling
rid
you.
of a few of
Yeah.
them.
Okay. All right. All right. They gonna know those people gonna be coming up with leagues too, and they gonna be you want me in yours, you gotta be in mine. You want me in yours, you gotta be in mine. And he gonna next thing you know he gonna have leagues up his ass. I'm not joining any more of your leagues. I'm not doing it because y'all you start a new one every year. Last year you had two. Now you added one. Now you already got three. Now you want to add another one next year. You yourself got four leagues.
Well, I didn't say I was adding any next year. I
Yeah.
never said
You
that.
did. You did. You did.
You did
Because you
just
ain't
say you
gonna.
was adding one.
Did he just say that big ass?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, no, no. I'll be honest. I'm thinking about reformatting Apocalypse and reworking that to be a little more user friendly. And that's one of
That's
my
one we
goals.
should get rid of.
That's the dynasty league with
What,
all the
32 teams?
Yeah, that's a 32 team dynasty.
crazy idea, which
Yeah,
was which was okay. I mean, it was okay to do a crazy idea, but it's hard to reformat a dynasty league because these people built their teams for what it's formatted for moving forward. You make changes, you affect with their strategy, you affect their long term strategy.
yeah.
So that's the challenge. So I would say take caution with that. Do that carefully.
Oh yeah, no, and that's why I said I got.
Or shut it down and start a new league, one or the other.
That was another idea I considered, but I didn't want to start another league. So if I do shut it down, Battle World would be the main league.
Whatever, man. You gonna be in 50 leagues. I can see it coming. I see it coming a mile away, big
Yep.
head.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to. I probably will, but I don't want.
You gonna be in
You
50.
you say that's what your mouth say.
Yeah, yeah, but you can hear it in his voice.
He
Voice,
gonna have 5 new leagues himself. 5 new leagues he started himself next year.
thank you. And his voice is saying 30 leagues, and his voice is saying 30 leagues. And in order to fill up them 5 leagues, he gonna have to join another 20. So there's your 50 leagues right there.
That ain't happening.
There it is. Coming, coming
I
down.
might join. I might join quite a few, but making them, I don't.
I can
Yeah, no, I'm good.
I can see it coming. We're gonna be calling him Joe the Mechanic.
No, no.
Yeah. The most interesting league I'm in, I never talk about it here because I'm on an island as far as everything else goes in this league. I joined this league. I don't even know how I found it. To be honest, I don't remember. I don't recall how I even discovered this league, but it's the most interesting league I'm in, and quite frankly, it's one of the reasons I've got to cut back on these other leagues because it makes everything else I'm doing run of the mill, but it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of attention, and if you're not paying attention, man, you miss out on major opportunities because it's played out with pro players, but it's a college football league.
Mm,
So it's set up like college football. There's all these different conferences. I'm in the Mountain Six Conference. The name of my school is Funk Mob University. And your players, as you pick them up, they're freshmen, even though no matter what year they are in the pros, they're freshmen the first year you get them. So you can get them on scholarship or you can get walk on. So I've been killing. This was my first year in, so I took on a bad team. But what I did was the first opportunity we had, he makes announcements. There's a calendar. You can't just come in and pick up and drop players. You only
Right.
have those opportunities when the calendar says, okay, you can pick up a walk on this week. You can pick up 3 walk-ons this week. This recruiting season, so you can recruit for next year and try to get people to commit to your team, your school next year. So there's a point system for it. And there's times when you can drop players. There's time when you can assign scholarships or so there came a time to where you can cut players from scholarship and open up scholarships. I
Okay.
or assign players that don't have scholarships, you can give them scholarships. Man, I wiped motherfuckers out. I got more scholarships available than anybody right now. I can pick up over 30 people. I got about 30 scholarships available right now.
okay.
And average school don't have that but they got better teams though. Um,
Right.
so all my recruits I can have them. And then they do. I don't know how the draft is done yet because I wasn't there for the draft. I joined after the draft had passed, so I didn't get to do the draft yet. That'll be my first time doing the draft next year. Um, but it's extremely interesting. They got a rivalry week. I think I just picked up a new rival, and I'm gonna ask if he can be my new rival because um, my rival was this school called Volunteer University. So the Volunteers, of course, kicked my ass. So what you do when you lose in rivalry week, if you beat your rival, you get to rename their school for the rest of the season.
Oh wow.
And you can change their logo the whole nine. So some of them are brutal too. That you can tell the old rivalries because they brutal. They've been coming up from now on. You are Harry Dick University. You know, It's brutal. It's brutal. So I lost, and he changed my name to Funky Cold Medina for the rest of the season. And
At least he gave you something that's decent.
yeah, it was cool. It was funny. I had fun with it though. Um, and but it was a made up rivalry because I didn't really have any rivals because I'm new, right?
Right.
But as bowl season came around, because I went on a winning streak at the end.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I've only won 3 games this season. I I had a major upset early on, like my second week. I had a major upset over one of the top 10 schools because there's a top 10,
Mm-hmm.
and they've got a point system for it, so it moves around week to week. It's
Right.
real interesting to watch. And I knocked off a top 10. They were like number 2 or 3, something like that, and I knocked them off. They still in the top 10 because they ain't lost but 1 game since.
Mm.
So it was a major upset. Um, and then my last 2 games of the season, I pulled off 2 big wins, and they were both recruiting weeks. So I had recruits in the stadium, and so I scored major points with my recruits. So I'm probably
Right.
gonna get Brock Purdy, which means
You're
Need an efficient
fired.
quarterback for that.
You're
Need an efficient
fired.
quarterback for that.
You're
Need an efficient
fired.
quarterback for that.
yeah. So I'm gonna have I might. It looks like I'm getting Brock. It looks like I'm gonna get Brock. Um, and I need an efficient quarterback. My star quarterback was Aaron Rodgers.
Oh
Oh.
damn.
Yeah. I
Oh.
lost him, of course, the first day of the season, and put he been on IR, and I had as my other 2 backups, I had Russell Wilson, who turned out my quote unquote savior, and that other rookie quarterback, not C.J. Stroud to Carolina,
Ooh.
and
Bryce
Bryce
Young.
Young.
Ooh.
Bryce,
Oof.
yeah. So Bryce Young and Russell Wilson has been my quarterbacks all year.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
I've been it's been a struggle, right?
Yeah.
Uh, but I've got good receivers. I got fairly decent running backs. I can still use some help there. My tight ends are terrible. My tight ends are terrible. I only got one tight end. So when it was their bye week, I had to play a game. I had to play a week without a tight end. I had to play 2 weeks without a tight end because one week he was hurt, and he's already trash. I don't even know who the hell he is. He scores about a point, and he averages about a point and a half a week. He's terrible. So I've got work to do. You know what I'm saying? I've got work to do, but I've got some fire going, man. But this last week for bowl week, of course, there's a CFP. The top 4 teams made the tournament for the national championship, and then there's bowl games for other teams,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's teams that didn't make the bowl games. But then there's one special bowl.
Oh.
The team in last place gets to pick from all the teams that didn't make a bowl and play any one of them, and you win some recruiting points. A
Right.
bunch of recruiting points. Whoever wins, you don't win shit, but you get a bunch of recruiting points. So anybody you going after, you're gonna pretty much dominate and get them because that's what all you're playing for is recruiting points,
Right.
right? So I picked a team that I thought I had the best chance to beat,
Mhm.
and I made a video. I made a video announcement for the team that I picked, and then this motherfucker really did put out a press release to respond, and he talking shit back. So and it's been funny. Everybody been commenting on it and laughing at it, and so I think I found my new rival.
Okay.
I think I found a true rival now. So I was like, okay, me and him, and some of the names he was calling me Drunk Mob University and all of this shit. He was going in. It was funny. It was well done. It was very well done. So I was like, okay, this might be my new rivalry now. There's next year I'm going to propose that rivalry week I get a rematch with Harrison University because I want to rename their fucking name. I want to rename their school. So yeah, so that's gonna be fun, man. I'm looking forward to getting more involved in that league. It is extremely fun, extremely challenging, and I've missed some recruiting weeks because I wasn't paying attention. I'm watching my other leagues and all of this stuff, and I don't even get to it. Then all of a sudden, I look up and it was like, "It's the last day for recruiting." I'm like, "What?" And I read the message a day late. So yesterday was the last day for recruiting. So I missed walk-ons a couple times. So it's like I'm gonna scale back so I can pay more attention to that league. I've got to get better in that league,
Right.
That
and
sounds like an awesome
it's absolutely phenomenal, dude.
play. Oh,
It's phenomenal, and it's $50 a year though.
Ooh
But you
wee.
do win cash. I mean, it's a money league. You
Right.
can win. You win. You win. So it's $50 to get in, and if the winner gets, I don't know how much. I'll find out when we have a winner. And they got a trophy case where they keep up with all the past national championships. It's two sites. It is so in depth that there's two separate sites, two separate websites to manage it. One is the league, and one is the league talk board.
okay. That's awesome.
Oh, it's pretty. It's I love it.
That
I
sounds
love
like
it.
one I might like.
Oh,
Right.
I love it, dude. I love it. It is the best league I've ever been in.
It sounds like the kind of league I would be more interested in, just because of the depth in it.
Yeah, it's very in depth, very intense. So anyway, so go down that rabbit hole, folks.
Right. Um. So next up, we got to talk about the chopping block here for these coaches coming up. The off season is what, 3 weeks away, including this week. So who are some of these coaches that you're looking at, as far as that could be on the chopping block?
BB in New England. Bill Belichick.
Out of there.
Hmm,
Matt Eberflus might keep his job because of how well the defense has been doing. But Luke Getzey, the offensive coordinator, out of there.
hmm.
Ron Rivera, I've heard, is out of there.
Out of there.
Yeah, I heard Ron Rivera's out.
And I think Bieniemy gonna be out with him. But if that is the case, I think Bieniemy gonna end up back in Kansas City.
Oh,
Yeah.
we don't need that.
But well, Kansas City needs it
Thank you.
because what's his name? The one that was just coaching the Bears. That's their offensive coordinator right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that potentially happening.
Hmm.
Who else?
Who else? I don't see. I don't know. Carolina coach gonna keep his job.
Carolina coach already lost his job.
I was gonna say he already
Frank
lost.
Reich got fired.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's already gone. The Chargers coach already gone. I can't think of who else can keep going to lose their job. I heard something extremely interesting, y'all. So before I tell y'all what I heard, I have a question, and I'm
Okay.
sorry. This is way off. It's off the beaten path. Of what
It's all good.
we're talking about. Uh, who is your Super Bowl pick now?
Oh,
I'm actually looking at San Fran and Baltimore.
I'm with you, Big Ed. What about you, Ed?
let's make it 3 because I'm the same way.
Same way, San Fran and Baltimore. Okay,
Yeah.
so
I
I was.
I,
Go ahead.
I will say Dallas has a legitimate shot as long as they play like how they played last. But if they
Except
cannot make that a consistent thing, they're they're hard pressed to make it too far.
except for one fact. They can't stop the run on the road.
Can't do
and
it.
now they're gonna have to go on the road. And they
Mm.
got Miami this week. Miami's finna run all over them.
Raheem
Mm,
Mostert ain't playing, and Devon A. Chain, he's a little upset. People have been downing him lately.
mm. But
So in
I've got this is gonna be the most interesting take I heard. Y'all, this was the most interesting I heard. I don't know if it's gonna be the most interesting for you. I'm just assuming. But it was for me. So three guys on this show, on this radio show I was listening to. Unfortunately, it was the day after our show, so we couldn't talk about it last week. But it was so impactful, I still remember it. It was one day after we recorded last week. Um, all three of them, they did their Super Bowl picks. First guy agreed with us. Frisco and Baltimore. All three was different, by the way.
okay.
Second guy said Frisco and Buffalo.
Mm. I
He
like
said
it.
Buffalo is hot. This was before they kicked Dallas ass a couple days ago. He said, I think Buffalo is hot. They're on a roll. This is the year. Frisco and Buffalo. All three of them had Frisco, but all three of them had a different team coming from the AFC. And then, while I thought the Buffalo was a shocker, the last guy really blew my mind and got me to thinking that's kind of scary. Frisco and the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, with
Oh,
Joe Flacco at the helm.
He said Flacco is playing pretty well. He said, well, when it comes to the playoff, this is his philosophy, his reasoning. Comes to the playoffs, it comes down to defense, and that defense I think is very underrated. He said, I think that's the best defense in football, and I think that they are going to be the difference maker in this playoff run. And I think Cleveland is going against Frisco. And I said, ooh,
Yeah,
Cleveland kicked our ass. That was the biggest. That was the worst ass whooping Frisco took all season.
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Ooh,
damn, they almost lost to the Bears.
Almost only counting horseshoe.
that is an interesting perspective, though. Ooh.
Didn't see that one coming from a
No.
mile. Didn't see that one coming. So yeah, that one.
But
And then I started watching them after that, and saying, wow. It's actually because this past week they played ball. They balled out, and I'm like, shh,
I
quiet as
don't know,
sneaking up in there.
because when Cleveland put it on him, Big Trent wasn't there.
Trent was not there. Debo was not there.
So I'll be honest, man. That Big Trent that's a difference maker.
He's a huge difference maker.
So
He-
would it really be that big of a deal? I don't know.
The thing is, on one hand, are they the Dragon Slayer? Are they really the Dragon Slayer? And then the other thing is, do we get our get back? 'Cause we want some get back.
Mm-hmm.
But then they're coming in confident, like, but you can't get it.
Right?
Because that was of that 3-game stretch they lost, that was the first one. That is
Yep.
the only game this season that Brock Purdy had less than a 70% completion rate.
Mm-hmm.
That is the only game. And it wasn't just that he didn't get over 70%. He was in the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
He had like a 40-something percent completion rate. He's over 70 for the rest of the season. Every other game. Except that one. So even though Trent was out those next two, and they did lose those next two, and he did have additional turnovers, he had like three more picks over those next two games. He still completed over 70% of his passes.
Yeah.
But against Cleveland, he completed about 45%.
Well, yeah, Cleveland being as tough of a defense as they are.
Yeah, that's a big
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
He was on their ass. And then didn't they hurt McCaffrey that game?
Mm, I
They
think
beat
so. Yeah,
McCaffrey on that game.
because that was right before the Vikings game, and I was like, ooh, he was questionable going into the Vikings game. I was getting a little excited. I was like, oh, we got a better chance of winning.
He came back and played, but he got hurt during that game.
Yeah,
That week he got hurt during that game. So they hurt McCaffrey. They didn't have Debo. They didn't have so they said so for a good portion of the game, they didn't have Debo, McCaffrey, or Trent Williams.
Yeah.
they was so they want some get back, but at the same time, that defense is real. So that would be an interesting matchup. I tell you, my disappointment with it would be I do not want Cleveland to get to a Super Bowl before Detroit. I just don't want it to happen.
I can agree with that.
Hasn't
Cleveland,
Cleveland
Houston,
already been to a Super Bowl?
no. Cleveland, Houston, Detroit, and Jacksonville. That's the four
Oh
teams.
no, they lost in the AFC Championship game.
Yep, more than once.
And that's another team that still can pull the upset and end up there.
Who?
Jacksonville.
I just don't see it.
I don't, not the way they're currently playing, but if they get back to the form they were at in the beginning of the season, Jacksonville could be a real threat in the playoffs.
I don't think so. I don't see it. I'm not. They don't scare me at all.
Their defense ain't tough enough.
They don't scare me at all.
Their
They-
offense does a little bit, but their defense ain't nothing.
They don't scare me one bit. That not at all. That not when it comes to we're talking about playoff teams. We're talking about going up against Baltimore and KC and no.
And see,
that
it-
ain't-
this year personally, I don't even look at it as KC. I look at it as Baltimore and Cleveland.
they might not even make it to the playoffs.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Jacksonville is struggling to win that division now because Indianapolis is a balling out.
Yeah.
Indy is on the verge of taking that division.
yeah.
So
Ain't Houston still in the mix too? To take
And
it?
Houston is still in the mix.
yes,
And
absolutely.
Stroud may be coming back this week.
Yeah, so Jacksonville doesn't scare me one tiny bit at all. Not at all. That's like Pacheco going to the Bears.
God damn it.
In other words, Drew Lock won the midseason Super Bowl last night.
But you know what? I ain't gonna lie, Drew Lock has not been playing bad at all though.
No.
No.
Played bad last week. They just happened to be playing the 49ers. So
Yep.
the score looked lopsided. But if you was watching the game, Drew Lock was playing good ball.
Yeah.
And last
And he
night
put
he really balled.
balled out.
I'm just gonna put it. When it comes to quarterbacks, Seattle's starting to look like the land of forgotten toys.
It is
With
something
Tino
about
and Drew Lock, there's something magical going on with Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll, ain't it?
Man.
It is something about Pete Carroll. Let's go back though. First you had Russell.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
First you had Russell.
And he had Hasselbeck before that.
Well, he didn't. Yeah, he did have Hasselbeck. Pete Carroll didn't have Hasselbeck, did he?
He had
I
Hasselbeck
think he had him for like 1 year.
because
Okay.
that's who Russ took over from.
That's the year they upset New Orleans.
Yep.
So he had Hasselbeck. Then he went to Russell Wilson, now Geno, now Drew Lock, and he's just pulling guys that's not supposed to be and turning them into bees.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So something's going on with Pete Carroll. He got something figured out at that position, don't he?
Yeah, he's doing it. He's doing it.
Wasn't he an offensive coach anyways? Or no, he was a defensive coach.
I was gonna say I thought he was D.
I thought he was just a head coach. I don't know. I mean, he did put together the Legion of Boom,
I'm saying.
Yeah.
but yeah, I just that's still interesting. It's very interesting. Anyway, man, I didn't mean to drive
All right. So speaking of Drew Lock,
another rabbit hole.
well, since we were talking about Drew Lock, how did he fare in the heavy hitters this week?
He didn't make the heavy hitters. But Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, and Aiden O'Connell made it for quarterbacks.
Aiden O'Connell. Oh my God. What the hell? The Raiders went from having the worst game and winning the worst game of the season to putting up numbers like bananas.
Yeah, 10 points off of the record for the most points scored in a game.
I saw a funny ass meme. It was a picture of Austin Eckler jumping up doing the first down, and they said NFL is immediately drug testing Austin Eckler for celebrating the first down after by being down by 5 touchdowns.
Oh wow.
You motherfuckers, you losing by 5 touchdowns and you celebrating the first down. This thing's on something.
Running backs: Christian McCaffrey, James Cook, and Jameer Gibbs.
Ooh, James Cook went off.
Man, James
Finally, one of the Cooks showed up.
Cook been going off the last couple of weeks, man.
Yeah, James.
All
Yeah,
about that.
James been playing his ass off.
Goes back to what old boy was saying, Buffalo's hot.
Yeah,
But I noticed one thing. That's 2 Lions so far. Jared Goff in the quarterback and Jameer Gibbs in running back.
Yeah, they beat the hell out of Denver.
Yeah, I figured that was coming though.
For wide receivers, Jordan Addison, Jalen Waddle, and Terry McLaurin.
Mm.
I think I sat him in a couple leagues too.
I didn't. I haven't heard anybody that I actually sat, but I didn't have all of these players.
I started Terry McLaurin and it was by accident, and I'm so happy with that accident.
I started Jared Goff by accident.
Tight ends, Sam Laporta,
I was
David Njoku, and Trey McBride.
I was gonna say Laporta before you did. Sam Laporta is a stud.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Yeah,
and all
he's a beast.
big ups to all the people that was complaining about that pick.
Man,
And Jameer Gibbs pick. Both of those picks y'all was complaining about, they both in the heavy hitters. People complained about the Jameer Gibbs pick, and people complained about the Sam Laporta pick. Oh, blah, blah. Mike Mayer went next, and he was the better one. Why didn't you pick Mike Mayer? Yeah, well, that's because you going by what you heard, not by what you know.
yeah.
Right.
All the talking heads were saying, what's Mel Kiper was saying, oh, Mike Mayer should go first. Mike Mayer should go. He's the next tight end to go. And so that's what you bid on and made your decision. But fortunately, that's not how Brad Holmes made his.
Right.
The only thing surprising about Sam Laporta for me is the fact that out of the rookies that Detroit picked up this year, he's the one that is the front runner for a Rookie of the Year candidacy in the league.
Yeah, man, the dude is breaking tight end records left and right.
Yeah, kids balling out, and it's been a while since we've had a tight end as a rookie out here and having a season like this.
Yeah, this kind of impact, it's been long. It's been, I mean, it's historic. Shit, there's been very few.
Yeah.
Big Ed is getting text messages from Dr. Dre. I don't know if y'all know it. Big Ed is producing a new mixtape, so he's got all of these big time producers hitting him up now. Heard about your mixtape?
Can't wait. No, I was texting the wife. Sorry.
All right, so
You gotta handle those texts right away.
Right away. Okay.
so is that all of our heavy hitters this week, bro?
That's all the heavy hitters.
What about kickers?
Dicker the kicker didn't make it.
Dicker the kicker is trash.
Yeah.
Every team that I have him on that's still playing, all of my playoff teams that I have Dicker the kicker on, I am cutting Dicker the kicker. I am replacing him with all of them. He was the worst pickup that I couldn't believe. I just hadn't been paying attention because he's a kicker, and then I paid attention like this motherfucker's been doing like one extra point a week. He's trash.
Yeah.
Oh no, I got someone that's been making negative points each week.
Dicker the kicker is garbage.
Yeah, Bajan got me negative points this week.
All right. What else? What else we got going on? So that was heavy hitters.
We got stardom situms.
Oh, the stardom Siddums. Okay, all right. Starting with quarterbacks.
With the
Let's see. Let's see. Um, Speaking of quarterbacks, by the way, Aaron Rodgers said he's not playing. He's not coming back this year.
Right.
good.
If they would have won, he would have came back this year.
Man, fuck that dude.
Kirk Rogers.
He's the Carlton of the NFL.
huh?
All right, my start. I'm going to start Josh Allen against Chicago. They don't play Chicago this week.
No.
No. I was so lost. I was like, "What week am I on?"
Yeah.
But he would still be a good start. They're playing the Chargers.
Okay. Okay. I'm looking at 2022. See, y'all got me confused. Y'all got me confused. Y'all got me all fucked up here. I'm still starting Josh Allen. All right, somebody else go, man, because I don't know who else I'm going with.
All right.
I'm going off last year's numbers.
I'm gonna start Josh Allen against the Chargers. And my wild card this week is gonna be Russell Wilson. And who are they playing? I forgot who they were. I just seen it.
Yep.
Oh, New England.
Okay. Who's your sit-em?
Oh, we're doing sit-ems already?
Yeah, you do one and one.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna sit Tua against Dallas.
Ooh.
They're gonna
Oh,
run. They're gonna run all over Dallas.
oh.
Oh, I still wouldn't have done that.
And they just got 200. Man, they just had 260 yards in rushing put up on them.
I wouldn't do it though.
Yeah.
I'm not going there with you. I'm not
Eventually,
going.
that play action is gonna come into play.
Thank you. Thank you.
So yeah, no.
All right, let me change that. Easton Slick against Buffalo.
Okay.
Stick, not Slick.
I was about to say, who the hell is Slick?
Oh man, he's all right. I feel you though.
All right. Okay. All right. I'm going with Josh Allen against the Chargers.
All right.
My wild card is Matt Stafford against the Saints. And my sit-em, I'm gonna go with Nick Mullins against Detroit.
Okay.
I can get with that one.
I can actually get with that as well. I'm gonna start Josh Allen against the Chargers as well. My wild card this week is Joe Flacco against the Texans. And my sit-em will be Derek Carr against the Rams.
Okay. Running backs.
Running backs. Big Ed, go again, because my shit is all messed up over here.
I'm gonna go Kyron Williams
Comma.
against New Orleans. Rashad White against Jacksonville. Rashad White against Jacksonville is gonna be my wild card. And my sit-em is gonna be Chuba Hubbard against Green Bay.
Mm.
Oh, Chubba Hubba. Hubba. He going against Hubba. Let's see here. I'm still trying to find my shit, man. I don't know why. I hate that it makes me look for it again every week. I gotta. No, I'm not fucking with y'all. I got a source that's so good, and I just suck. Wade, what's yours?
All right, I got Christian McCaffrey against the Ravens as my starter. My wild card this week is going to be James Conner against the Bears.
Oh,
And
Wow.
my sit-em is going to be Tajay Spears.
James Conner against the Bears is a wild card though.
yeah.
And the Bears have one of the best run defenses.
Uh, Hence the reason for it being a wild card.
It'd actually be a sit 'em.
Oh,
That's the reason it's still a wild card.
yeah, calling him a sit 'em. All right, all right. Let's see, man.
He breaks the single game rushing record.
No.
I'm going.
He'd have to be better than AP to do that.
I'm just going straight with the kickers. Having a hard time, man, over here, man. I'm sorry, man. I found my source and it was the wrong year, and now I can't find them for this year, and they're driving me bananas because every other source I hate. All right, let's see. For running backs, I'm gonna go with David A. Chain
Mm.
against the Cowgirls. From a wild card, I want to use him, but I can't. If y'all would say that's not a wild card, even though I think it's a wild card. So as my wild card, I'm gonna go with Javante Williams,
He's been unimpressive this season. Yeah, he's a wild card.
and I'm going to sit. I'm gonna sit Aaron Jones.
Mm.
Ooh.
I'm gonna sit Aaron Jones. You know who I was going to say in my wild card was Derrick Henry.
Oh, actually, he would be a wild card this year.
Last week he was the worst.
Golly.
Man,
I
he's
was
been the worst damn near every week. I don't know why I kept him on a few teams.
Oh, he was terrible last week.
Oh man, that goose egg was goosey.
That goose egg hurt.
Man. It hurts even more when you look and it doesn't even say out, doubtful, IR. There's no real reason for it. He just was that bad.
You just
Right. Wide receivers. I'm gonna go Ross St. Brown against Minnesota.
yay.
Chris Olave is gonna be my wild card against the Rams,
Okay.
and I'm gonna sit Deontay Johnson against Cincinnati.
Mm.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
No faith in Mitch.
None whatsoever, man. Why you so hard on people? Let's see what year.
Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, but he's doing better than Kenny Pickett.
Okay. Wide receivers, I'm gonna go with tough call, but I'm gonna go with Debo because he's Debo.
Okay.
For a wild card, I'm gonna go with Debo because he's Debo. All right, my bad. My wild card, I'm gonna go with Adam Thielen.
Ooh. Okay.
And for my sit 'em, I'm gonna sit Garrett Wilson.
Ooh. Okay.
Defenses.
What?
Never mind. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yo, high ass. I'm gonna start Stephon Diggs against the Chargers. I'm gonna put as my wild card OBJ against the 49ers. And my sit-em will be Jacoby Myers against the Chiefs. Tight ends.
Okay. Tight ends. I'm gonna go Sam Laporta against Minnesota.
Mm.
Evan Ingram against Tampa Bay is my wild card. And my sit-em is gonna be Kyle Pitts against Indianapolis.
Ooh.
Yeah.
His play has been the Pitts this year.
Yeah. I cannot disagree.
I'm gonna go with the same stardom Same sit 'em. But my wild card is Cole Komet.
Ooh.
I can get with that one.
Uh, um, I'm gonna start Travis Kelsey against the Raiders. My wild card is gonna be Darren Waller against the Eagles, and my sit 'em this week is gonna be Isaiah Likely against the 49ers.
I like Isaiah Likely.
I do, but this week is a bad matchup for him.
Yeah, them safeties and linebackers for San Francisco is nuts.
Yeah, he's balling out though, but yeah, this is gonna be a tougher week for him.
I know one thing. That was a tough week for me to do stardom sit-ems. I don't know.
Wait, you got our 5 picks
I got
for our 5 games?
I got our 5 games this week.
Okay.
We're gonna start it off with Cleveland going to Houston.
See, I can pick these. I'm going with Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm going with Cleveland too.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with Cleveland as well. Detroit, going to Minnesota.
Detroit.
Lions win. They win the division. I'm going with Detroit.
Oh man, you guys already know what I'm gonna go with here.
Detroit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Detroit.
Wow, for once he didn't pick with his heart.
You should be talking over there.
I'm sitting here like this man of all people to say that. Must win situation for the playoff berth. Jacksonville going to Tampa Bay.
I'm going with Tampa Bay.
I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. Baker's balling out.
Baker's balling out, but I'm gonna go with Jacksonville. They want to prove last year wasn't a fluke. Arizona at Chicago.
I'm going with Chicago.
Me too.
Me 3. Final game Monday night. Baltimore heading to San Francisco.
Super Bowl preview.
Mm-hmm.
And the Super Bowl rematch.
And a rematch, yes. I'm going with
Need an efficient quarterback for that. Need an efficient quarterback for that. Need an efficient quarterback for that. Sit him right.
I'm going with the efficient quarterback. I'm going with Purdy. Frisco.
As am I.
I'm going with the Ravens.
Ooh. Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time you win against the 49ers.
It would not be, but if there's any team right now, currently,
I remember you picked
knock
Pittsburgh.
the 49ers off, it would be
I
the Ravens.
remember you picking Pittsburgh first game of the season.
I did. That was terrible. But let me not sit here trying to front. That was terrible. But right now, Ravens have the best chance to knock off the 49ers and knock them down a peg.
Need an efficient quarterback for that.
And I do not agree. It's not because of an inefficient quarterback. This game is going to come down to defense.
Need an efficient quarterback for that. And I think San Fran is a little bit better.
Ooh, shots fired.
Look at him cleaning it up.
I think he's just mad Roshan's over in Baltimore now. That's all that is.
Look at him cleaning it up over there. All right.
Roshan can kiss somewhere.
That's going to be a hell of a game, man. I'm looking forward to it.
This is going to be fun to watch.
Is that it?
That was it.
Yep, that's it.
Oh, well, that is all she wrote, folks. And I want to thank you all for joining us. It was a great time, man. I think it was a good show, guys. And I appreciate y'all for listening. If you like what you see, make sure you like what you see. And also subscribe to the channel because we need subscriptions. We want you to subscribe, and that way you can get alerted for not only the Showdown, but the What Up Though show, the Smoke Session, the Waves Verse, and all kind of different concept shows that we do. We just try stuff sometimes, man. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. But we gave it a shot. But thanks for joining us on the Showdown. All right, we out, man. I don't know what just happened. I don't know what just happened.